two. Down to one. It's Gaines. Yes!
This ball is crushed.
MC Cannibal, rap Hannibal. Here to change the game, mainframe, all y'all programmable. Coaching on tracks, balling, linking paper like Phil. I'm on being if real, my rhymes convict and heal.
Welcome to the Faithful Fan Show. I'm your host, Tony Cook, joined today by the hot take titan once again. It's Matt back in the house. What's happening, dog?
I'm back, y'all. I'm back.
Let's
been a while.
go.
I missed all y'all. I missed y'all.
Yeah, Matt's been busy out here getting it in, but we got a lot of sports topics to chop it up about. First, we're going to start with basketball. I'm going to let everybody know the Lakers are done. They're already on their way to Cancun. The season was a waste. Like, a lot of people are out here saying it was the biggest failure of a team. I can't really go that far though, Matt, because
why not?
We weren't assembled. We never got to form Voltron. Like, AD and LeBron James only played like 5 games together.
But when you spend the whole offseason recruiting all of your boys and you try and make it a high school reunion,
okay,
you know what I mean? And this is the result of it.
You're right. Okay, so obviously the Westbrook trade was a botch. That was not it. And it's clear now that Anthony Davis, the bubble was like an anomaly. Like, that season, and it was an anomaly because Anthony Davis never has a full season where he's healthy.
Yeah,
and even that season, he probably wouldn't have. Even that season, if it didn't get stopped short and they get to restart, he probably would have got injured in that season too. So it's like, we'll see what the Lakers do. I have no idea where to pivot from here. All I know is that the way LeBron played, I want LeBron back. I'll take LeBron. Finish it out.
I was gonna say, do you think LeBron is coming back?
He's got another year. It's just about what he wants, because whatever he wants to do is what's going to happen. Like,
he said he want to go play with Steph.
I've seen that, but that's the framework of the reporter, dog. That don't mean that next year he's going to the Warriors. Come on, dog.
I mean, LeBron could go wherever he want to go. You think they'll say no?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he could go wherever he wants. So I pray that he chooses to finish his career out with the Lakers, because he was the bright part, the bright spot of the season. The fact that didn't he win the scoring title? You know what I mean? At age whatever, like he balled out this year. He balled out.
LeBron still has a lot of miles left. He's still got about 2 or 3 good seasons left from what I saw. Right, he's still got a lot of good basketball left.
2, 3. Yeah.
I don't think he leaves LA because I think it's business is here in LA, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think LeBron is a modern athlete where he's thinking beyond the court.
Definitely.
Right? He's setting himself beyond the court. Even though Silicon Valley is not too far away from LA, so that's it might work out for him, but I don't see him leaving LA.
But the Warriors, I guess that's a nice little way to finish out your career, just passing shooters. You seen how KD got his chip. But if you had to pick though, Matt, if like we had to get rid of Westbrook or Anthony Davis, like let's say if you're the GM of the Lakers, what are you looking to do this offseason for the Lakers?
If I'm the GM of the Lakers, the first thing I do is sit down with LeBron, right? Obviously, because if I want him to finish his career here, I think he's got 2 or 3 more. He's got 1 on his deal. I need to get an extension done, so I see how much money I'm working with, right?
Yeah.
The next thing I want to do is, obviously, I can't make wholesale moves without LeBron's opinion. You know what I mean? Personally, what I would want to do is you got to let Russ go. It's just not the right fit for him. I don't think Russ and LeBron ever work in any scenario. It doesn't matter who you bring in around them.
It was wishful thinking by Lakers fans thinking that was going to work. I included wishful thinking that LeBron was going to work with Westbrook.
I think a lot of people around the league believe that AD is still a top 3 pick or a top 3 player in the league when healthy. So knowing as a GM, I want to build my team for, LeBron's last couple of years and beyond. I would move on from AD and see who I can get. I would try and get Big Cat. I would try and get maybe DeRozan.
Yeah.
Coming from me, I don't like to hear that. But I would try and do that. Maybe even move on from AD and bring Damian Lillard down.
Oh yeah. If we get it, that's like the one player where I feel like, okay, we give an AD up. who's going to be an even exchange? Like Damian Lillard's the closest, and I don't even know if that's really an even exchange because of what he does on AD does on offense and defense. Yeah. But Damian Lillard is going to play more games, so
he's going to play more games. He gives you a ball dominant guard, so LeBron doesn't have to be the ball dominant guard. Yep. You know what I mean? So then the big man that you get just has to be serviceable. They don't got to be an all-star like AD, right? You can get you what's that kid out in for the Kings? I forget, he's from the French kid.
Sabonis?
Okay, you could go with a Sabonis.
They just got him. They just got Sabonis.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the other dude. He's the French player.
He's young.
I can't even think of his name. Yeah, it's like Thames or whatever.
Okay.
I forget his name. But like, yeah, you get somebody like him. He's not a big name, not a huge, but he can play. He's a serviceable big man over there, right?
Maybe possibly stretch the floor. Sheesh. After this season, we need more players that can stretch the floor, dude. Like,
and then you get rid of AD's contract, you can get some depth because that's the one thing you didn't have. You didn't have any depth. Y'all had a bunch of 10-day contract players, you know. So
I think I agree, Matt. I think I agree with the whole trade AD thing. It's tough because, like you said, are you really getting back what you're shipping out? But at this point,
yes, you are, because you're going to get somebody who's going to play at least 72 games.
Exactly. We're looking at players that are out there. After this, I have no faith that Anthony Davis he's going to get better. Like his health is going to, he's not going to get more durable after this season. It's only going downhill from here. So it's like, I think we got what we got from him. We got a chip. Thank you, AD.
You got the chip.
It's terrible to say that.
He cemented his legacy. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. He got his ring. You know what I mean? So
I think that's where we're headed with the Lakers. I mean, it's sad to say, but I think once again, it's going to be a complete reshuffle of the deck. Lakers going to look completely different next year. Like we've been doing that for the past couple of years. We'll see where it lands us. But let's go to the Bulls, a team that's actually in the playoffs, right? Y'all are still in the playoffs. Y'all slide a little bit. Y'all sliding a little bit. Right?
You know, honestly, the last 2 weeks of our season really put us in a hole. And now our first round draw is not looking too good. We got the Bucks first round.
Wait, so we're gonna get y'all are 6th or 7th? What are y'all?
We dropped to 6th. Oh. We pretty much stuck at 6. So we're gonna pull the Bucks. Tough out. That's a tough out. I think it'll be a 6-game series.
Fun series though, because y'all got some size. Because what's his name? Vucevic. Like before y'all had Vucevic, it would be, but now y'all got the size to kind of combat. Antetokounmpo is crazy, bro. That's the most stacked team y'all could have played in the first round.
Yeah, that's a tough out. That was a tough out. But you know, that's what happens. That's why you got to take the back half of the season real serious. And I know injuries didn't play in our favor or whatever, but we lost a lot of close games that we shouldn't have lost in the last 2 weeks. I think we dropped. I think at one point we were like 4 and 6 or 5 and 5 in the last 10. And you know,
coming down to stretch.
That's not playoff basketball. That's not playoff basketball.
So I know Levine was out for a good stretch of time, but he's back now. He's back. DeRozan's back, right? He's been.
DeRozan's back. Ball's back.
Ball's back too.
Now.
About Lonzo Ball.
Yes.
But what were you about to say?
You go ahead. Throw it up. Serve it up for me.
I saw like, I didn't know if it was a meme or if it was like rumors. Lonzo Ball out next season for the Bulls. It's already a done deal. How does that happen?
It's rumors right now, but when you look at it, when you sit there and you piece it together, you're like, it makes a little bit of sense, right? Because here's the thing: if DeRozan is gonna go take a max deal somewhere else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Blow it up.
Is that what it sounded like? It sounded like DeRozan's not returning.
I think,
or the Bulls won't pay him
I don't think the Bulls are gonna pay the contract, right? You know what I mean? So that's why. And plus, if the Bulls give you a max deal and say the Lakers give you a max deal, you're going to LA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to LA. So
good to hear from my side. Let's clear some space.
You know what I mean? And if you lose DeRozan, Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine, that's not a championship. That doesn't do a good service to either one of those players.
So you've seen enough of it to know that DeRozan was kind of what ignited that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, you can't even absolutely 100%. You know what I mean? Now, the thing that would change that is if we get past Milwaukee and make a run of these playoffs, right?
Yeah,
then I think everybody runs it back, you know?
Yeah. But we'll see about that. That's interesting. Are they looking at Caruso to slide in and start? Or what is he? Because I know Caruso's been playing, but like it's not
been balling, but I don't think it's like, oh, Caruso's good enough to like fill the void. I really think it's a money thing, trying to build the team long term.
Gotcha.
You know, and if you look at, because you got to look at us over the last 4 or 5 seasons, that's kind of what we've been doing. We were trying to find these people who we're going to hold on to. We develop stars and then we send them out because the contracts are bad, right? Reinsdorf is like very cheap, very, very cheap. He's not trying to pay anybody anything. Yeah. So that's kind of like where we're at.
And they're choosing, but it's just interesting that they wouldn't extend DeRozan, but they're
gonna try. I think they're gonna try. I think
you think he's gonna choose to go elsewhere? Pretty.
Wouldn't you? Like, think about it.
Unless the money is that much better. Unless they just blow him out the water with the money. Okay.
Right. You know what I mean? Because as good as we are, without bringing another solid player in there, can we compete with Brooklyn? Can we compete with Philly? Can we compete with the Bucks? We'll find out. You know, can we compete with the Heat? So
I think the Heat. Oh man, they're first right now, still in the East, huh?
They clinched. They clinched tonight. They clinched tonight.
I don't know if I believe in them like that. I think I like the Bucks more than the Heat in the playoffs.
Definitely, I don't think the Heat are going back to the finals. But I think they are competitive, right? They're not a walk. Nobody's walking over them. You're gonna have to play.
Oh yeah.
Even Milwaukee's gonna have to show up and play. Yep. You know what I mean?
But Matt, before these playoffs start, dude, I'm excited. I'm gonna watch this Bulls. I didn't know the Bulls was about to. We don't know quite yet. How many games left in the season?
2.
Oh, so it's pretty much set. Bulls is gonna be pretty much playing the Bucks. That's gonna be a nice series. So you're saying 6-game series, and what is the percentage you give the Bulls getting out of this series? What has to happen, Matt?
What has to happen is we've got to out-hustle them. We've got to play bigger than them. You know what I mean? Which is going to be a tall order. We're going to have to get a lot of production off of our bench. And then I think we're going to have to send Giannis to the free throw line, pretty much. Keep him from just dominating the paint and controlling inside the paint. If he's going in there, make him earn it, right? Make him earn it. Send it to the free throw line. We're gonna just have to send bodies at him. You know what I mean?
I hear you. And I would give them a fair shot if the full cast is there. Like if y'all got everybody there, I think it's a funky enough matchup where y'all got some really good guards.
It's just the size. It's just they'll wear us down, right? Because Milwaukee can run. They can run. You know what I mean? Which is what we do very well. But then when we get into that half-court game, they're gonna wear us down. Yeah. That's the problem.
That's where it hurts because if they want to run with y'all might have the advantage there because y'all got the guards to your guards shoot over, your guards go through, like as opposed to like who's gonna be guarding them? Grayson Allen, you know what I'm saying? Like
but that's the thing. Milwaukee, because Giannis is so agile, he gets up and down the court. Milwaukee can run. Yeah, now they're not going to do it a whole game, right? Yeah. Like if it gets into a run and shoot, I like us, right? Yeah,
exactly.
If we get a run and shoot, I love us.
Giannis want to slow y'all down and go to the free throw line. That's what Giannis wants.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so, but they can't. So if it's just spurts where they're running, they can run. That's not you know what I mean? So they play good transition defense.
It'll be a good series. That'll be a good series. I'm looking forward to this east side of things because it's real funky over there. Right? The West Coast is kind of like, you got the Warriors, you got the Suns who are kind of like the best.
But, and then you got the Nuggets.
Yeah, and we'll see about the Nuggets. I wish they had Jamal Murray. We'll see.
The thing about the Nuggets is I think they're going to be it doesn't matter who they play, they're going to take them to a long series.
Because
you know what I mean?
Because they have the depth. They have good wings all over the place, and then they got Jokic distributing to everybody, and he's just a monster. It's hard for me.
Speaking of Jokic, I know you saw this earlier in the week. Do you watch? I think it's called Players Tribune on TikTok.
Okay, no,
I might have them wrong, but they're a podcast. They said on there that they think that Jokic in today's game is better than Shaq. Like if you put Shaq in today's game, Jokic is better.
Wait, Matt. I laugh because I can't do that right now. I'm not ready for that. How do you feel about that take?
That's
Mr.
the most
Watson,
absurd thing I ever heard.
Thank you. Okay, I didn't think you was gonna go there yet, Matt. I'm not ready to put Jokic there yet. I'm not ready.
That's the most absurd thing I ever heard. And I get it. You got to say something. I'm the hot take type, so I get it, right? I get it.
That's clout chasing, bro.
And their reasoning behind it, and I get it, is they're like, because Shaq's gonna have to play defense on the perimeter, right?
In today's game,
but not really.
No,
you know what I mean? Not really. He can sag back.
And people forget Shaq in his prime, he was moving around, bro. Like he was running. Of course, he's not moving around with the guards of today that can shoot threes and stuff. So it is a little different. He would have had to come out on some of these 3-point shooters, but what he was doing.
Then they say his conditioning, because he's got to play defense, he's not going to have the energy to be
so they're making it a whole. They're making it a whole he's too big for the game thing.
Basically, that's
hard to say because what is Embiid? I feel like Shaq was in his prime was about as skilled as Embiid without the three in the free throw.
Faster.
That's what I'm saying. And just
you know what I mean.
That I don't like that take. I don't like that take. But
horrible.
Jokic is on his way. He's right there with Embiid. Honest for me. He's right there. It's hard for me to say who's the best big man in the game. Who would you put?
I know Embiid's the best big man in the game. That's not a hard one.
Over Jokic,
yeah, 100%. That's not a hard one. Jokic
so you're giving him
very good.
That means Embiid's MVP because I think that's the race right now, right?
I think so. Because think about it. The thing about it is, what does Jokic do better than Embiid? Pass the ball.
True.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. There's not an argument there. Is Jokic a better perimeter shooter than Embiid?
3-pointer, Jokic can shoot the three. The thing is, Jokic doesn't have the same offensive arsenal at all.
And that's where I was going at.
Embiid is better when he faces up. You're right. Like he has a better offensive arsenal, but maybe Jokic standing his spot up shot. Maybe
that's what I was gonna say. I was really about to say. I thought it's yes. Jokic is a better perimeter shooter than Embiid.
Spot up
but
shot.
After that,
it's all
after
Embiid.
that, you know what I mean?
It's all Embiid. And like for the offense. Defense, it's probably Embiid too. So yeah, I would have to give it to Embiid because I don't see Jokic locking nobody up. But
no, he's a big body. That's about it.
Yeah. But we got sidetracked. We got sidetracked on big man.
We did.
Let's get. So that was basketball. We got Bulls, Bucks. I can't wait for that series. We got a bunch of spicy series. But let's go to the NFL. Because the free agency has been going on for a while. I haven't even talked to you since free agency started. But I know that we both have something in common, both of our teams. We both lost the defensive end, mad players. But we lost our right DN, basically. Y'all traded yours, Khalil Mack. What was that about? I remember you saying that Khalil Mack wasn't playing too well last year. So
I said no. I said he was playing well. His stats don't look the same. He was playing well. He was playing like a top, edge rusher in the league. You know what I mean? When he's on the field. We got rid of Mack for contract purposes. You know what I mean? We had a lot of bad contracts.
The story of this offseason.
We didn't have trying to build a team long term. We didn't have the draft capital. We didn't have the money. Khalil Mack was 30 going on 30. And I think he's still a top 10 edge rusher in this league for how many more years though? Right. Yeah. So
but it's gotta be at least 3. Like Khalil Mack ain't that old. So it's gotta be like
he's not, but to try and get the last 3 years out of him with a contract that was gonna balloon starting next season. We got so many holes. Yeah. Right. We basically need to build a new team. So and this year is a wash for us.
What was the haul? What did y'all get? Do you remember what y'all got back for Khalil Mack?
The second round pick, I think. And
that's actually good, bro. That's actually good. I was
or a fourth and a third. Like it wasn't. Maybe it was a second and a fourth.
But what did you want? You wanted the first round?
No, it's like the big thing about that wasn't the draft capital that we got. It was more so because with draft capital, you have to trust that your development team is going to find the gems deep in the late rounds, right? That's hard to do.
Yeah.
But the big thing was they took on the entire contract. So
Yeah.
it really freed up what we can do there.
That helps. Yep.
Absolutely.
See,
we are not winning any games this year, right? We are not. We not, bruh. Have you looked at our roster?
Yo, I feel the Cowboys are in a similar situation as far as like having to dump players because of contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Amari Cooper, we let him go for a 5th round pick, bro. A 5th round pick.
Now, okay, let's be honest, right? Amari Cooper, best route runner in the league, right? Yes. Production-wise, is he productive?
But see, bro, that's hard. Like, it's really foggy because we drafted a receiver 2 years ago to be
who's doing better than him.
Who's doing better? So it's like, can we be mad at Amari Cooper because we drafted a guy to do exactly what he's doing, and Dak is throwing the ball to him more? And from what I hear,
so for you guys to let go of Amari Cooper and that contract made a lot of sense.
No, I agree.
Your offense doesn't change with him gone.
I totally agree, dude.
Except you guys paid Michael Gallup, who's hurt, and we don't know if he's going to come back healthy.
That's the part. That's the point. And I like Michael Gallup too. I think
when he's healthy,
we're headed towards drafting another receiver at 24, bro. We're gonna draft like one of the Ohio State boys. Like,
they're gonna be gone.
You think Chris Olave might be there, bro?
He might. You're right. He might. Yeah,
if he's there, we are taking a receiver, and we gonna have a new slot receiver. That's what's happening. Like, we're setting it up. We're either gonna pick a guard or a receiver at that 24. Whichever one stacks up better on our board. That's what we're gonna pick.
Y'all let a tackle go too, didn't you?
No. Oh yeah, we waived Lyle Collins. It's all right.
Yeah.
But that's contract stuff too. It's all because of it's because of Zeke. The Zeke contract has destroyed everything. Amari, honestly, I'm not mad at paying Amari 19. It's just Zeke is a staple in our franchise, and we don't have him this. We only have him this year. He's gone after next year. That's what happened.
Zeke. You could have let Zeke go this year.
They didn't want to, bro. They didn't want to do it. Jerry. That's the problem with Jerry being a GM. He never admits his mistakes. He rides that mess out, bro. And he's riding this Zeke out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Pollard is the better back in your offense.
He is. And
you know what I mean?
Next year's a contract year for him. He's gonna split carries again and go somewhere else because he didn't get his opportunity here. That's what's going, because we're gonna try to be like, you're situational back, 3rd down back. We're gonna try to lowball him. And someone else is gonna see his potential. He's gonna be gone.
Go somewhere else.
That's how we've been losing all of our players, bro. Because we try to lowball everyone, just like how you said, the bull.
Brian Thorpe.
Yeah, we don't pay nobody, bro. But we want to have all the stars.
The only stars y'all got is in the center of that football field. That's about it. On the side of y'all helmets.
Okay, but Matt, so clearly you think that your team is not better than it was when the season started.
Absolutely not, bro. Like, have you seen our roster?
I instantly changed the subject because I know y'all got Fields. You know what I'm saying?
And let's be honest, like, I'm not giving up on Fields, right? But remember I said last year when we drafted him, I said I wasn't too excited because, that season we saw flashes of brilliance, and we also
you were dead on too. You were low key dead on. You were dead on with your
assessment. Yeah. I don't know if his we got to see what Eberflus does, right? Defensive-minded coach, but we did bring in the quarterback coach from Green Bay, so I'm excited about that, and I hope that he develops Fields. It's just how well is Fields going to develop? But the problem with the developing Fields is who does he have to throw the ball to?
That's
right. Mooney, I like Mooney. He's a speedster, but he's not a number one receiver.
He's not a number one. He's best number two. Like, he's best.
We got what's the dude? Enigmius.
Yep.
St. Brown.
Yep, him, the younger brother of the other St. Brown, right? From Green Bay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
who flashed last year at running back for y'all? The other one when
Khalid.
What's his last name?
Herbert.
He flashed he flashed last year. He did some things.
He's good. Like I'm happy with our backfield. right?
Exactly, okay.
We got a solid 1-2
And that's what
punch there.
Fields
I'm
needs,
cool
though.
there.
That's what Fields needs, though. He needs a solid running game. Y'all draft a
We
receiver.
need a tight end. We need a consistent tight, bro. If we draft a receiver, I would like to see a receiver, but where we're at, we're not going to get a dominant receiver, right? I don't think there's a number one mid-second round.
Oh, y'all.
I think we're at third. We're kind of towards the top of the. I think we're like 38, 39, maybe 43, right around there.
There's definitely receiver. Y'all gonna get. There's one dude from Alabama.
But is there a number one? The receiver class is a lot. There's a lot of receivers out there. But who's the true number one out of the receiver class this year?
I would say, old boy from USC, Drake London.
Drake London, okay. But Drake London, like let's talk about Drake London.
He's kind of like a tight end though, low-key.
I was about to say he's a big possession receiver.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Solid route runner. Is he gonna come in and be a number one?
That's the thing. The ones that for sure I think could come in and be number one, it's tough. He's like, just because he's an ex receiver, like he'll get touchdowns. And then I don't know, Traylon Burks. He's from I want to say Oklahoma, Traylon Burks. Yeah. And then there's both the Ohio State boys is gonna go, bro. Garrett Wilson and Olave. Garrett Wilson and Olave.
They have the potential to be number ones, right? To come in and be like big ones. But I don't. I see a lot of really, really good receivers, but I don't know if I see somebody coming in and being a number one.
You know what?
Not year one, right?
But this guy's not gonna fall. Jameson Williams, he's not gonna fall.
No, he's not. He gonna be.
He was because everyone was talking about his knee. So I was like, maybe he drops to the second round, but then he got out there and worked out and said he's ready.
Do you think? Part of me feels this is a hot take. Sound the alarms. I got a hot take. I feel like we're gonna look back, and this is gonna be probably the worst draft class of the decade.
Really? Okay. So I would say that about the quarterback position.
And I think this entire class.
And I think honestly defensive ends too, because it's really like the top two, Hutchinson and Thibodeau. And then after that, I really don't know. No, I kind of know.
Many? Okay. Obviously, this is going to be a hard one.
What makes you say that? What makes you say the worst?
You know what it is? Here's the reason I feel that way, bro. I was like, everybody's fast. You know what I mean? Everybody's fast. But I think there's workout dandies. Like, don't get me wrong. They're all great football players. Like, I don't want to sit here and sound like a hater to say they're not good football players. They're going to be good football players. But I just think with the transfer portal and the way that college football has been lately, is there's been no consistency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And since there's no consistency, plus I think the talent pool and like the 2 off years, because there was like college football had 2 off years, right? Yeah. With COVID.
So we're suffering from that right now. Like these is those kids.
Yeah, I think
I had a messed up college career. I got you. I
just think that we're gonna look back and we're gonna be like, yeah, that class was kind of weak. You know what I mean? I think
so. Okay, where I agree with you, and I think a lot of draft nerds have been saying that. Like this draft ain't really popping like that at the top. Like it's a lot of people are saying like the top of the draft isn't much different from the third, like from the first round to the third round.
Yeah,
kind of like the same kind of. There's no big standouts basically, but so I think receiver is one of those positions and O-line.
Okay, but why do you feel that way?
Receiver and O-line this year, bro.
The reason why we feel that way is because of those 40 times. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah. You
know what I mean?
Why did everyone run a subpar 4.3?
That's what I'm saying. That's why we all think that the receiver class is about to be popping, right? Because of those 40 times.
And everyone's talking about it too. Why are they so fast at the combine this year? What did they do? They're just probably building excitement because, like you said, the draft is weak. No QBs to look at.
Mm-hmm.
This is the least anyone's ever talked about QBs in the draft. Usually there's 2 going in the first 5.
Right.
There may not be 1 going in the top 10.
That's why I think this draft's going to be a little weak. But think about this. In the last 3 years, who are the dominant receivers?
In the last
that were drafted. I'm not talking about that was in the league in like year 5 and breakout. The last 3 draft classes, tell me the dominant receivers.
Okay, 3 draft. We could for sure say Justin Jefferson's one of them. I guess Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Was AJ Brown considered that's not the past 3 years though. AJ Brown's a little older than that.
He's a little older.
Who else came? Kyle Pitts, but he's not really a receiver. I'm trying to think.
Are you? What's the dog?
I'm missing the year
in,
before. I'm missing the year before.
The dude in Denver.
Oh, Jerry Jeudy. We got CeeDee Lamb, of course. CeeDee Lamb's better than Jerry Jeudy. Metcalf, yeah. There's some good players, some really good players, right?
Bro, we just named 5 in 3 years.
So what you're saying is what it looks like at the combine and before the draft. It doesn't always pan out. All these athletes. No, and I agree. Because like Henry Ruggs, for instance, and what's the other Hollywood Brown? All these speedsters that came out, they don't really make that number one receiver impact in the league.
Right.
Like speedsters. There's only a couple, like I said. Only a couple.
I just don't see it right now. I think there's a lot of speed, absolutely a lot of speed because we've been training a lot, right? These boys been training, but the NFL is a different game. It's a different monster.
I agree, bro.
You know what? I think, okay, I'm gonna give you another hot take. I don't think that just this draft class. I think the next 4 years of draft class are gonna be subpar.
Is it just because of this, like the style of college play? Like,
no, it's how college football is being like the whole force the transfer portal.
Yeah.
The little COVID seasons. And now you got NIL.
That's just making it so that anyone who just tests well and is a good athlete, they could low-key bounce around so they get drafted.
Yeah.
And
then NIL. The first few years of NIL, when these kids are getting their bellies fed, they're not hungry, right?
Oh, you're right. It's gonna mess up the game, Matt. It's gonna mess up the game.
A little bit. Because think about it. If I got $1 million, $2 million coming out of high school to play college football, my family made it.
No,
right? A lot of these kids, that's why they want to go to the league. So their family can make it. But my family already made it. I'm already set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the money that college brings in, it ain't gonna be no tap on that. There's gonna be kids that are paid, bro. There's gonna be seniors paid.
So it's like, and if you think about it, it's already hard enough to make the jump from college to the NFL. The lifespan is only 3 years, right?
You gotta want it. You gotta want it too, yeah.
And that's like wanting it.
That's not even
broke.
Yep. But like the lottery picks are different. The lottery picks are different. Like not everyone. If you're getting picked in the second, third, fourth round, later rounds, that's a tough line.
But think about it. You about to get picked. You're literally about to take a pay cut to go play the pros.
That's crazy to think about, bro. They're gonna have to revisit that. They're gonna have to revisit it. Because like you said,
I'm saying these first few years, they gotta figure it out first, right? They gotta go through the mistakes.
I can see that messing up the hunger of the players. I'm even looking at that at first. That's not a hot take. That's a great take, Matt. You hear that, fans? We got some good analysts on here. But no, that was good, Matt. But before we get out of here, I also you don't sound too excited about the draft, but I still have to ask you. You guys are picking mid-second. What do you guys need? What would you like to see?
Everything,
First position,
bro.
Give me 2 positions that you would like to get called, with the 38th pick. Is that what it is, the 38th pick?
Let's say, I'm not 100% sure, but okay. Honestly, I got to protect my investment at quarterback. So, let me get the best offensive lineman that's out there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then, because we got 2 picks in the second. And then after that, I got to protect the investment in my quarterback. So go get him somebody to throw to, right?
So
get him.
It's all for the quarterback. It's all for the quarterback.
It's not all for the quarterback, right? But we've got a 3-4 year window if we pick up his year, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows you build championship teams on rookie contracts.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got to do your work. Yeah.
So I gotta protect my investment because he's cheap right now.
Yeah.
We could build a championship team in the next 3 years. But he's got to have the assets to go.
You got to be ready to take it there. Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
I hear you. So offensive line and receiver. It's funny.
Not necessarily receiver, a tight end, right?
Anything that can help. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Anyone he can throw to. I hear you.
Yep.
And you can find a lot of good tight ends too in that second, third areas.
And then after that, we need corners. We need corners like we need corners like nobody's business, bro.
The Cowboys, bro.
We need edge rushers.
The Cowboys need offensive line. Offensive line. Of course, everyone's gonna say we need a receiver. We do. But I think offensive line. Last year, we couldn't get it to our receivers. Defenses were rushing 4 and press Manning because they knew they could get home. Right up the middle. Right up the middle. So there's a really good center in the draft, Tyler Linderbaum. He's the best center, and he reminds me of Travis Frederick. We might need to, if he's there, I'll take him. But I really want a guard because we lost Connor Williams, our left guard. And just the middle was a mess last year. Everyone was getting pushed back. Everyone was holding. We got to get someone. We need to get a good first round grade offensive lineman, but we're gonna pick a receiver. Chris Olave is gonna fall. I just feel it, bro. I feel like because they always pick the receiver from the big school that falls, just like CeeDee Lamb. He's high on their board, so if he falls, he's definitely higher on their board than the O lineman. He's gonna get picked, but we'll see. We'll see about that. Anything else, Matt, that you got to say? Bulls, Bears, sports in general before we get out of here?
Hey, Tiger's back.
Tiger's back. What are we talking? And he did good today, too.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What, he shoot two under?
Show these young bucks what's up, Tiger.
Tiger's back, so that's good. Sports is in a good spot right now. I think I'm curious to see what happens with the NFL and the next generation of NFL. I think the NBA, the playoffs are going to be a whole lot of fun.
Matt would say it's a good place. The Lakers are going to Cancun. He said, I think sports are in a good place, especially the NBA.
Yep. Looking real good. Hey, what do you think about, in closing, what do you think about Coach K's final game? Was that the way to go out?
That's tough, man. It's like, you don't want to do, that's not the way to go out, first of all. It's not the way to go out. But it's like, I feel like if he won, he would have ran it back. So it's just like, dang, I don't know.
It was so, you know what? For Coach K's last game to be Duke UNC, that's great.
That's
iconic.
Like, yeah. Love that.
Iconic. For his first and last loss of his career to be the UNC.
Oh, when you put it this way, Matt, of course, it was the grand exit. It was the grand exit.
It was the grand exit,
But one of my cousins is a Duke fan and one of my cousins is a UNC fan. So they were I was so caught up in their little rivalry. I forgot that, his first, until I saw what was a little stat thing saying, his first loss was against UNC and now his last. That's crazy. I wonder if he looks at that coming full circle. You know what I'm saying?
Has to, how else can you, okay. And what else could Coach K, besides winning an NBA finals?
No, you're right. What else could he have done?
Could he do,
He went and won some gold medals in the process.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Coached the best players in the league. Best players ever.
Didn't even have to coach
all of them.
All of them. Yeah, all of the greats.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the greats, because he coached how many? 6 Olympic teams?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's coached them all. He's coached all of the greats.
Yep. Hey, thank you, Matt. Actually, shout out Coach K. We appreciate you, man. Appreciate all the greatness you've given us with the Dukies all these years. All right, fans. It's been nice. Thank you, Matt, for joining us. Hey, show the Hot Take Titan some love. He brought the heat today. He had 1,000 hot takes. So let's get it, y'all. Dun, 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 dun.
Rookie in the paint, going hard with the venom. Shot so much, man, I think I need a leg. Rookie in the paint, going hard with the venom. Shot so much, man, I think I need a leg. Animal, MC Cannibal, rap Hannibal. Here to change the game, mainframe, all y'all programmable. Coaching on tracks, balling like a paper like Phil. I'm Morpheus and real, my rhymes convict and heal. A world blind, my lines a red pill, real. Ball like I've been here, rookie in his prime. Focus like Jordan the second time. Kobe in playoff times, you know believe when I drop. Call for it, Kelly go in the Blizo spit. Auto like free throws by Ito. Circle loose stroke magic, rhymes over